Hello, my name is Daoud, President and Principal Analyst at Compliance Standards, a strategic advisory and research firm that focuses on the IT asset disposition sector, or ITAD. I am pleased to announce the official opening of the ITAD.Academy, a platform built exclusively to meet the educational needs of the professionals who are involved in handling the disposition of IT and electronic equipment on behalf of their company. Whether you are in IT management, a procurement or sourcing professional, an ESG expert, or working in various departments that touch ITAD, such as finance, legal, facilities, or in any other function, with full or partial responsibility over ITAM and ITAD, this platform is for you and it is free. But why do we think the ITAD Academy is important? Well, consider the skill set needed to engineer an ITAD program, deploy it, execute it, and monitor it. But unlike most ITAM tasks, the decommissioning and disposal phase of ITAM features some of the most difficult and demanding tasks requiring different skill sets to meet its four goals. One, protect the company from data breaches. Two, shield it against illegal environmental action. Three, ensure that it is done with minimal disruption to business. And finally, four, do all the above within a well-planned financial structure. These tasks require much more complex skills than what we see taking place in US enterprises today. In fact, compliance standards research found that 72 to 75% of US organizations rely on IT departments to handle ITAD. And although this may be normal, given that IT departments own those assets in most parts, we found that those handling this function do not have the prerequisite skills to manage ITAD properly. In an ideal world, companies would have a special job title, such as an ITAD analyst, to become the champion of that function, ideally housed within the IT department. Such an analyst would be tasked to bring all of the key stakeholders together to help shape a world-class ITAD program. But since most companies do not have such a job function, the ITAD Academy is here to help fill the knowledge gap by bringing lectures and interviews of top experts to transform their contribution into structured courses to enhance the practice of ITAD. Perhaps the first question to ask is, why should we care about ITAD? The cradle to grave life cycle of IT asset management, or ITAM, encompasses the entire span of an IT asset's existence from its initial acquisition to its final disposal. This life cycle is divided into 6 distinct phases, each characterized by specific activities and processes. They are planning and acquisition, deployment and installation, operations and maintenance, support and optimization, renewal and upgradation, and finally, 6th, decommissioning and disposal. Although each of these 6 item functions are extremely important, perhaps the most intensive ones are phase 1 and 6. In phase 1, planning and acquisition require vigorous understanding of technology, of compliance rules, requirements. The company's strategic long-term vision is necessary. Understanding the vendor's ecosystem is important, etc. It's labor-intensive and technically demanding because that will determine how productive a company will be in the next several years. Choice of technology is critical to ensure that said technology fits the company's core business and its short, medium, and long-term strategies. But perhaps more impactful is the 6th phase, that is the decommissioning and disposal period, or ITAD, because it's no longer just about IT. Until recently, ITAD has been a trivialized function. IT departments saw the function as an orphaned one. Some of the best companies in the world have neglected ITAD largely because they do not understand the consequences of bad ITAD practices. They generally spend enormous amounts of money on the 5 top functions of ITAM, hiring some of the best CIOs and the best IT managers, but they neglect the 6th one, that is ITAD. Here's perhaps one of the most extreme manifestations of such neglect. Morgan Stanley is one of the most cited cases of an ITAD program gone wrong. From 2016 to 2019, it picked the wrong partner to handle its ITAD program, ended up losing assets and experienced devastating data breaches, exposing its customers' information. It's now facing more than $160 million in fine. But here's another piece of information that supports my argument about this. In 2019, Morgan Stanley's IT budget neared $5.7 billion. While Morgan Stanley considers technology to be a critical component of its operations and part of a broader strategy to maintain and develop its technological edge in the competitive financial services industry, the sixth phase of ITAM, that is ITAD, has been utterly neglected. And that is a problem. So why is it a problem then? Well, managing an efficient ITAD program should reach the four goals stated earlier. First, it's about preventing data security problems. IT departments understand the importance of data security, but they may not have the proper knowledge and procedures to ensure that data security is properly handled at the decommissioning phase. That phase requires at least a moderate understanding of general privacy laws and the laws that regulate various vertical sectors, such as finance and healthcare. This is not the job of your standard IT manager. Additional skills are needed to at least make assumptions about data security in ITAD, hence ITAD Academy. Secondly, the same can be said about environmental controls. In the entire ITAD discipline, ITAD is the most vulnerable phase when it comes to environmental impact. No other ITAM phase is more exposed to the environmental risk than ITAD. This is because IT assets end up going into a destination that will have a real environmental impact. IT managers are not trained to understand the environmental aspects of ITAD at a time when their companies are making public pledges about their own ESG performances, hence the ITAD Academy. Thirdly, it's critical that the ITAD program runs smoothly operationally with no disruptions to the company's business. Operations include engaging with third-party staff to physically remove assets from facilities, ensuring safe and secure transportation to treatment centers, ensuring that the data center decommissioning is done without any glitches, ensuring that on-site data erasure is performed efficiently, etc. IT managers are not trained to plan these steps, hence the ITAD Academy. Finally, it costs money, and understanding your financial options is critical to ensuring that your ITAD program does not go over budget. For instance, an ITAD analyst will have to face critical questions such as choice of what to do with the retired assets. Do you sell them on the secondary market, reuse them internally, donate them to charity, etc.? All of that is bound to have implications on your budget and ITAD program cost. IT managers are not trained to deal with the complexity of such tasks, hence the ITAD Academy. So the ITAD Academy offers you the opportunity to learn the various aspects of ITAD. It offers peer benchmarking coming from the surveys and research we perform. We invite some of the brightest experts to share their knowledge. We turn that knowledge into courses. Students can then select to take quizzes at the end of their learning period, and a certificate of achievement is issued to the successful students so they can go on to help their companies design ITAD programs that keep them secure, compliant with regulation, and operationally efficient. Best of all, it is free to join. Join today.